Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. No, wait, wrong channel. Real Estate Ninja. It's been a long night. Comments are disabled. Of course, the live chat I think is probably good, but no more comments on these channels because people are getting robbed. We're going to talk about the current banking crisis and a story that just blows me away. Just the headline alone. Think about this headline. Stocks soar amid hopes. Regional bank crisis will lead to early rate cut and more Fed easing. Isn't that insane? I'm going to be honest. I believe that we're going to go down in history as a bunch of tools that should have seen it coming but didn't. If you look back in history at the Great Depression, we see the previous years leading up to the Great Depression were called the Roaring 20s. And documentaries, I've seen multiples about it, where they just go, they didn't see it coming. Why didn't they see it coming? How could they have not seen it coming? And yet they didn't. Well, that's because that's human nature. 90-something% of Americans, 90% of something of human beings, they just don't see it. All they see is what's in front of them. There's a reason why horses have to have blinders on, because they need to be able to see directly in front of them so that they can accomplish the mission that they have, that humans have put in front of them. That's to pull a wagon, move forward, right? A horse's eyes are set on their side of their heads. They could see so much more without even having to move their head. They have so much a wider vision. We don't have that as humans. Our eyes are right here. We're always looking straight ahead. Most of the time it's to our detriment because we're not paying attention to what's going on around us. Our situational awareness is not there. But just think about this. Stocks are soaring. This is the Roaring 20s. I mean, you couldn't have picked a better cycle, a 100-year cycle, the Roaring 20s. But this one will come a lot sooner than 2029, the crash. Why? Because time is compressed due to technology. Time is compressed because we've spent more time building gadgets and new ways of living and doing life to compress our time. We're in a current banking crisis. So the question is, what are you doing about it? Real quick, I got to say, because this is how I make my money, I have the 50% off sale to the Real Estate Mastermind, the Real Estate Crash Master Course. It's a bundle of courses. It's 50% off. It's $24.99. It also includes group coaching calls. I can't take myself serious. Once a month. And I can guarantee you this. Either within 30 days, you've watched less than 50% of all the material, and there's a lot of it. You don't like it, you can have your money back. After 1 year, if you have gone through all of the lessons and 12 of the monthly coaching calls, which I record and edit, and you have not saved at least 5 times the cost of that course in your first home purchase or your first rental, I will personally get on and do a private call with you, look at your information and find out what is stuck. All right. My goal is to save you lots of money. And there's nothing out there that I've ever seen where someone can be coached on how to purchase a home and save lots of money. Okay. I spent 20 years saving people money on their homes. I said, well, I might as well just do this for a living. So that's down below. Oh, one other real quick thing. I apologize. Housekeeping. Everyone that has the real estate, how to prepare for the real estate crash course, I just put up a new lesson. It's going in depth with one of our students that just purchased a duplex, going in how he did it, why he made the decision to do it right now, and how he got the money for it. I think it's great. Also, for the bear market and for the crash course, I have a new lesson coming up in February and in March on each of those courses. So keep an eye out. You don't get emails, sorry. A lot of people opt out of emails, so you just have to look once a month and see all the new lessons that have gone up, okay? All right, here we go. So again, this is out of Zero Hedge, entitled Stocks Soar Amid Hopes that the regional banking crisis will lead to early rate cut. That means things are bad. Following the biggest drop for the S&P since September, thanks to Powell unleashing Hawk Hogan during his presser stocks, which had managed to regain about a third of the drop overnight, started the day off on the back foot, dropping to session lows early in the session as this regional bank crisis threatened to spread out of control as multiple small banks tumbled high single and double digits. However, then the market quickly remembered that it was precisely the bank crisis last March that sparked a powerful Fed response and a violent rally, and we got the same thing today as stocks slingshot sharply closer to 1.1% higher. Now, you may be thinking that these percentages aren't a lot, but you have to understand you got to start somewhere, right? It's like Dr. Evil and the sharks with lasers. Man, you got to start somewhere. Are they ill-tempered sea bass? I mean, honestly, you got to start somewhere, right? And you've got to see the progression of things that go from bad to worse, all right? And as you see these things, I used the analogy of a puzzle with puzzle pieces, talking about Amazon yesterday, laying people off. You put these puzzles together, and as you put the puzzle together, even though it's not all together, you still got pieces missing, you can see the picture. So you can see what you're needing to do. It blows me away. Like, it's been all over the news the other day that San Diego, housing prices are just soaring. Well, guess what? They just came out with a story. It says 2023 was like the worst year for sales in San Diego for real estate. Well, no duh. That's why prices are soaring, because there's a handful of idiots running around buying homes and just bidding up prices. And they're all hoping the rates are going to drop. That's what this story is about. Everyone's just, please, 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 rates are going to drop. Rates have never, ever, ever, ever went down in the history of the Fed in the last 100 years, unless things were really bad, and the masses couldn't afford crap. And then it took years to balance that out. That's what you're waiting for. That's what you're positioning yourself for, okay? There's a couple cycles inside of that. Starting a side hustle and taking advantage of all the people that didn't see this coming. So you buy up their business inventory, you buy up their businesses, pennies on the dollar, and you run them up and you sell them, or you sell tons of inventory, make money, and then you buy the real estate. There's that gold to real estate cycle. There's so many cycles at play here. And you shouldn't be in just one. You should be going from cycle to cycle to cycle. All right? Now it says here, with the melt up, again, we're talking about, bank stocks, paradoxically also spreading to the KRE, the regional bank index, as the very catalyst for the melt up reversed and also rose in an example of absurd market reflectivity. While banks have struggled, one can't say the same for tech, which has levitated since the open and is well on its way to erasing all losses during Wednesday's drubbling. Although a lot will depend on what Amazon, Apple, and Meta report after the close. Now, Amazon just came out and reported massive earnings. Everyone's stoked. They also are reporting massive layoffs. And like I did a story the other day, they're doing quiet firing also. And they're telling their insiders, their HR people, they want to see, or their managers, they want to see 10% people quit. So not only are they laying off 27,000, they want to see 10% of their workforce just walk away so they don't have to pay severance packages. Do you see where this craziness is happening right now? Until then, they say everyone is enjoying today's relief rally. And even though we have seen a vertable roller coaster, I don't even know that word, in March rate cut odds in the past 48 hours, we're seeing people that are just begging for that rate cut. They're telling you right now that business is not as usual. Business cannot go on as usual unless there's a rate cut. So that means things are bad. Now, somebody brings up the price of silver is down. What's funny? It's all relative to what other assets are going for. That Japan is going through a massive commercial mortgage-backed security crisis right now. We are in the throes of a massive, massive downturn in real estate. It's going to run into residential real estate. I know people don't like to hear this, but Fannie and Freddie are actually in trouble right now. They are in very serious trouble. They have been buying up paper that is not to their standards, and they're just now finding out. So there's internal inquiries going on right now at Fannie and Freddie. And the thing is I get it. You don't see it in the news. I'm telling you ahead of time. You're going to see this in the next 3 to 6 months, 6 months at the latest, because they're going to have to publish their numbers. And it's very important for people to see this ahead of time, not because you want to panic, but because you want to prepare, and not a panic kind of prepare. It just settles your mind. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to be a little patient. Patience is what makes people wealthy. That's it. Actually, I'd say patience coupled with actually doing something. You can't sit around and wait for money to land in your lap and start to wiggle. Hope you got something out of this. People are begging, they're hoping that the bank crash is enough for the Fed to lower rates. But again, I have to tell you, please, the Fed raised rates to quell inflation. Inflation hasn't gone to 2%. It's like at what, 2.9%, 2.8 for core CPI, if I remember right? This is a very serious time. The Fed can't lower rates. They said they were going to pencil them in. I even warned a month before that even happened that that is what they were going to do. They're going to try and calm the markets down verbally. And they did. Everyone said, oh, they said they'll pencil it in, so they're going to do it. They said they're data dependent, and they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it until inflation goes down. And the only way inflation goes down is if you lose your job. Nobody seems to be talking about this on the internet. It's like, I feel like I'm crazy. Well, maybe I am. Only time will tell. I was crazy when I said lumber prices would come down. I was crazy when I said other things would happen, and they've happened. Have I gotten them all right? No. But I've gotten 9 out of 10. And we've waited for a very special reason to come out with those edited videos showing those dates, because it's going to be very, very important at a certain point to show those. I hope you guys have a great day. I thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go. It just stopped snowing, and I'm going to go outside and do a couple videos for the other channel. So hope to see you over there. Thank you to everybody that's watched This Will Make You Rich. Yesterday's gold video was really on fire. It really taught a bunch of people some things that they hadn't known. Maybe it reiterated some things that people had already known about gold and interest rate cycles. If you haven't seen it, that video came out yesterday. It's on that channel. This Will Make You Rich. Thank you to everyone that hashtags that as well. I hope you guys have a great day. The Real Estate Ninja is out. Oh, remember, new videos coming out on both of those real estate courses later in February. Okay? All right, see you guys. Or, yeah, new lessons.